Hello, this is old Mr. Kent of MrKent.com, and this was just a couple days ago. I wanted to just fly my new DJI Air 2S, and I just didn't. There was a tractor making some sounds over in the field, and I didn't really have any reason to fly except that I heard the sound. I thought, well, I'll go see what they're doing out in the field. Just an excuse to fly, because I really enjoy flying this thing, because you get such a nice picture that you can see the details, on your phone. On the phone screen, I can see a whole lot more details now than I could before. So I flew over here, and there's that little tractor that we looked at in one of my previous videos. I've only made about, I think this is the third one, but anyway, there'll be a lot of them because I'm having so much fun with this thing. So I flew over to see what he was doing, and last time I flew over to look at a tractor in the field, it might have been the same one. He was just going back and forth, if you remember looking at the video, and I decided, and I watched him for a long time until he got almost that whole circle plowed up, and he just kept going. And so a guy came by my house on the road with a pickup truck. So I thought, and he turned up the road that goes to the cattle corral. And so I decided, well, I'm going to follow him. Now remember, I'm standing with my phone and a sunshade, and I'm standing in the sun because I have forgotten how important it is to stay in the shade when you use the iPhone, because when it gets warm, the screen dims. And I hadn't even thought about the fact that I was standing, out in the sun. It was shining on the controller and warming up the phone. So anyway, I didn't think about it, and I was watching this guy back in, and he's pretty good at backing up. Better than some folks I've watched. And about there is the reason I'm turning around is because my screen just began to dim. As you can see, there wasn't all that much sun, but it was enough to warm up the phone. And with an iPhone, in order to protect the inside of the phone, the screen dims so it doesn't use so much current. And of course, then it causes the screen to go. You can't really see. If you keep waiting, pretty soon the screen gets so dim that you can't see to fly it home. So anyway, I decided, all right, I am going to connect this thing up to my smart controller, and then I won't have to worry about that. And besides, everybody says it's compatible, and it says right on this, in the smart controller, when you go to select what craft you're going to fly, it gives you the option for the Air 2S. So I connected up to it, and this is the first flight with the smart controller. And, at this point, I'm checking a lot of little things to make sure that I've got everything set like it's supposed to be. And so I'm taking off here. And if I pause for a long time, it's because I'm doing something to check things. And I wanted to check object avoidance. And so I I tried to run into my son's Jeep, and that's as close as it would get. It started beeping, and I don't know if it wanted to turn or just stop. Wasn't paying much attention, but it wouldn't run into the Jeep, and that's the important thing. So object avoidance does work. Everything seems to work with the smart controller. And so I thought, well, I'll just go fly around a little bit and check it out and make sure I can get some distance out of it. And they say that I know from experience you don't get as much range with the smart controller because of the crazy antenna system that's pointing at the ground. But anyway, so I took off and decided I'd go fly around the neighborhood a little bit and have fun flying and make sure that the smart controller works with the Air 2S. Now remember, I used to be a pilot of full-size airplanes, and one thing that I learned is if you're about ready to take off and something goes wrong, don't take off until it's fixed if something doesn't check out. And so keep in mind, I'm coming into land on my little cardboard pad that wants to blow away all the time. And I don't know what I was looking at, but so I'm bringing it down, and I'm using the I'm using the X in the middle of the screen to zero in on the landing pad, and I got down to about here, and the wind blew it away. So I thought, okay, I'm going to fly it over to the little house. Well, you can't go to the little house unless you turn off object avoidance. So at this point in time, I'm turning off object avoidance, and when I get it turned off and go back, the screen on the smart controller is black. No image at all. And so I'm just looking at the smart controller now. I'm sorry, looking at the drone and bringing it over to land it VLOS because you can't see anything on the screen. And so all the way over here, I had to fly it by visual. So does the smart controller, is it really compatible with the 2S? Yeah, in most cases. Only thing is, if you want to make sure you don't get a black screen, don't turn off object avoidance. So that's not enough for me. I won't use the smart controller, and so here I am binding it back to the iPhone, or I mean the controller that comes with the drone, and this is on the iPhone. From now on, I'll just stand in the shade until, oh yeah, I got to set that. I'll stand in the shade until I can afford to buy that new smart controller. Actually, it's the RC Pro when it finally gets usable with the Air 2S. Right now, it's not. So anyway, I tested it out, and everything worked fine. And so I was happy. As long as I stand in the shade, I don't have to worry about my phone. Well, until it gets to hot summer days, then I have to worry. But all through the winter, I can still fly my Air 2S with my phone and just be sure I stand in the shade. That's the secret. So here I am coming in for my landing. I want to thank you for watching my videos. I appreciate your support, and God bless.